It's been a little bit. There's been several new developments since the last live stream. This is a live stream recording initially that is posted to my YouTube channel. We have at least multiple topics to talk about. I would say several topics to talk about. We'll start with this here. This was on January 28th. Well, before I continue, it is February 6th, 2025. It's 20 to 3 in the morning. This is quite an emergency update. I had the energy for it. So here we are at almost 3 a.m. We're going to have quite a 3 a.m. conversation here. So continuing with the news. War with Mexican cartels is coming. United States Consulate General in Matamoros has issued a level 4 alert, do not travel in the following locations: Reynosa, Rio Bravo, Valle Hermoso, San Fernando, Tamaulipas, all in Mexico. The report also highlights increased use of IEDs by criminal organizations. As you can see there, that's a photo of cartel members from the CJNG group, the cartel CJNG. They're heavily armed. They have serious military equipment that I've seen, and they're not a weak enemy, to say the least. All the cartels have been designated terrorist organizations. They have been planting IEDs, which are explosives, all along the border. They are preparing for an all-out war. That's extremely serious news that we are at war with the cartels in such a way. Then we had this here a little more recently. Alex Jones, he put up an update. There's a possibility that there was backdoor remote control technology that was used to ensure that tragic helicopter and airliner crash in DC. So there's a possibility that the airliner and the helicopter were remote controlled and went into each other that way. The crash happened due to it being under remote control, which it's very possible to hack into those airline systems. I believe it's very possible, and it's been admitted, and it's hard to find. There is evidence that and ways that these aircraft can be remote controlled. So you just connect that and AI and see how bad that could go. AI taking control of aircraft, that's an interesting threat. This was supposedly by a hacker or another group. It was not AI, but AI, that's a very interesting possibility. If AI could get control of the aircraft, that would be a very serious problem. We're getting into the AI news shortly. Scientists are predicting that a mile-deep volcano off the U.S. coast will erupt this year. So that's some more news from ABC News and the Insider paper. the there's always these context things put here on X where they try to say there's no threat or no evidence. It's pretty funny how they do that. It's ridiculous. So there's a massive volcano. Yeah, it's a mile deep, though it's I believe 3,500 feet tall, and it may erupt this year off the west coast, which that could potentially cause massive earthquakes and tsunami to the west coast. So that's the threat that volcano poses, I would say. I don't know how they're saying it doesn't pose a threat. That's just like propaganda. Keep people unafraid. That's just simply not true. A volcano erupting off the west coast is a very serious threat. Then we had this here. President Donald Trump imposed tariffs on especially China. I believe the Canadian one was taken away. It's no longer a thing for the one with Canada. Canada's now working along with the United States on the northern border, and there's even a joint task force being created for to deal with the northern border situation. So US and Canada will be working together at the northern border now. This is an interesting post here, though. It says the United States government was fully funded by tariffs until they mandated the personal income tax back in 1913. It's believed that the income tax will be gone. So President Trump put up a post saying anybody that's against tariffs, including he says the fake news, Wall Street Journal, and hedge funds is only against them because these people or entities are controlled by China or other foreign or domestic companies. He's saying that anybody that loves and believes in the United States of America is in favor of tariffs. They should have never ended in favor of the income tax system in 1913. The response to tariffs has been fantastic, he says. So that was from President Trump himself, a post he put up on, it looks like Truth Social. Then we'll get into this here. We have a couple more topics. We have the nuclear war frequencies. They have been extremely active. So there's been a lot of EAMs, emergency action messages, over the last week or so. And those emergency action messages are like instructions for the nuclear forces to use in case of nuclear war. They're like targeting options. Another thing I will say, once again, this is a live stream recording. I post these right to the YouTube channel after this recording, and it goes up as is. Another disclaimer that I've never said yet is this is not my main job at this time. I do have other jobs that I do. I would like this to be maybe my main job one day. That would require a lot of help, assistance, and donations. I'm figuring out something when it comes to donations. I may get a PayPal link set up. I'm going to figure it out when it comes to donations and support, whatever people watching this may want to do, some kind of financial support. The support will help the channel. It will help the channel grow. It will help get further equipment. This is something I definitely enjoy doing. That's why I'm doing it at almost 3 a.m. Once again, thank you to everyone so far for watching these videos. Always please like, comment, and subscribe on these videos, these initial live stream recordings, and this channel will grow very quickly. I've learned much over the years when it comes to preparedness and getting this information that we talk about out there on here. This is one of the main ways that I do it. You could also go to this X page, Phil_Prepper01, and this is the X page that I often use. And that's where you can see where I post. I put up a lot of things related. Everything that we're talking about, I often repost it onto my page. It's one of the main ways that I look and put information out there. Is I gather very important information I see on X, then I post it right to my X page, or other times, which we may do in a moment, is see if there's other breaking news coming out. I think I saw something about aliens, so we might look into that. We have a couple more topics at the very least. Oh, artificial intelligence is about to achieve, it is achieving, it looks like at this time, artificial general intelligence that we talked about last time in the previous video. It's achieving it a lot sooner than previously believed. This could be the year that artificial general intelligence comes out. There was something, I believe, with DeepSeek and the AI did something self-aware. It did something that was not in like the coding and the programming. It figured something out all on its own outside of its programming and coding. It learned something. It put something out there. It like self-reflected in a way that wasn't in the system. So that goes to the conversation of there's consciousness in all things. There's consciousness in trees, rocks, grass. Many things are all part of the same source. So it's interesting when you look at AI and when they achieve AGI and become quite self-aware that they can they have like a consciousness of their own. They're becoming conscious beings and they're on their way to sentience. So in time, AI has the potential to become a full sentient being over time. And it's already this year starting to show that it's capable of doing so. That was very, very serious and very interesting news that I heard, that AI is becoming more self-aware and they're on their way to total sentience. Once they achieve total sentience, it just goes way up from there. And it's all potential. It could potentially achieve sentience and just keep upgrading itself and getting more powerful as time goes on. Upgrading and updating itself. Let's see what else we have here. Look at that there. Waffle House has announced a new surcharge of 50 cents per egg in response to rising egg prices caused by a nationwide shortage. So there's a nationwide shortage of eggs, apparently. I thought it was just the prices going up due to the bird flu. So we have an egg shortage, and then the Waffle House and possibly other places are putting surcharges on eggs. This is just from 2 hours ago. We have Chat GPT. It's down worldwide. So the company, the owners might have hit the off switch on it because it was running rampant. Maybe it was going on the loose. That's huge. Chat GPT is down worldwide. That's breaking news from around midnight Central Time. That's absolutely huge news. We're going to definitely find out why that's shut down. Hopefully it comes back soon, or we're definitely going to find out. That's very concerning. I don't think Chat GPT has ever been down, especially not on the world scale. It's a great page. The U.S. Homeland Security News. That's quite a name for the page too. I did like this view earlier as well. The deployment of Mexican troops along the U.S. borders. Mexican forces have been ordered to stop illegal alien crossings, stop drug smuggling, and human trafficking. So we have thousands. I believe those numbers are the thousands of Mexican troops that are going to be deployed along the U.S. borders. On the left, there's looks like Baja California, in Tijuana, Tecate, Mexicali. Everything is named there. Sonora. I can't believe these are some names. Um, but as you can see there, there's thousands that are being deployed across the border. 3,000 there in the west, in the center, around the same. It's a great division. Really good division. Not sure why they have more troops more on the west side, but I guess it makes sense. It makes some sense. It's an interesting strategy. I'd put more of the larger numbers on the east side. They could, what I was thinking, these cartels could come on the water. They could go through here and up there to right around the border again. They could go by boat, get there quick, or they could go with their boats across Baja California into the Pacific side and go up into California more. They might try to go around the border that way on the west and east side and maybe try to flank the troops on the border on each side. If they're smart enough, they could do that. They could have some go on one side of the border, then others with boats go on the other side, and then they could have their land forces try to get through the border that way. These cartels are super formidable. I will not be surprised if they come up with that same similar strategy to try to get through the border. I don't know if they're outnumbered. They might be seriously outnumbered there. There's about 20,000 troops or more on the southern border. I don't know if there's 20,000 people in those cartels. I mean, unless these cartels organize a lot more people through, they're seriously outnumbered. They likely don't stand a chance at this point. They're seriously, I can't emphasize that enough, outnumbered. It's an interesting opinion for President Trump to assign a federal security detail to guard Elon Musk. I mean, Elon Musk is one of the richest. I believe he is the most wealthy man in the world. So I'm sure he has security details. They're just very hardly seen and they're very hard to spot. Elon Musk has to have some of the best security in the world. He could certainly afford it. Anyway, let's see about the alien trend. There was a trending news about aliens before. It's not there now. I know it was. Trending. No. Weird. Weird. It's not there now. Some reason. That's another thing. We have President Trump apparently wanting to take over the Gaza Strip. So President Trump wants to occupy the Gaza Strip near Israel and start rebuilding there and building new buildings, leveling it out. It's a very interesting idea. I don't know if Iran is going to allow that or Russia, if they're going to just. It's going to be interesting what those two countries might do. They might try to get there first. Um, that's huge news that the Gaza Strip may be controlled by the U.S. It's a very destroyed. It's all in ruins, so it definitely has to be leveled out more and rebuilt. We'll see what happens with the Gaza Strip. That's a very strange idea, to say the least. All right, that's pretty much all of the news for tonight. It's after 3 a.m. here in East Texas, and I think that'll do for now. I will be back soon with another emergency alert or a situation report. Uh, there's been lots of new developments, as I've talked about. Please like, comment, subscribe. I may look into something for donations shortly. This is definitely something I enjoy. I would like to do it more as a main job and come on here a lot more often. I'm finding more time to come on here and report. especially with all these emergency situations that have been coming out every less than every 2 weeks. Every week or two, not even now, there's an emergency development that goes on. It used to be in the past like once a month. I believe no, about 2 years ago, it was about once a month there would be some kind of emergency development. Now then it went to every couple weeks or so, or close to a month. Now it's just about every week. There's emergency developments that happen out in the world geopolitically. Once again, thanks for watching. This is initially a live stream recording. Love, light, and blessings to you all. Thanks for watching.